this video, I want to share some observations as to the current political system in India and how it continues to oppress the Shudras, untouchables, tribals, and religious minorities, of course also other oppressed communities. It becomes very important to discuss this topic because many a person in India points to the fact that these communities have reserved representation, a quota in parliament wherein only representatives from their communities can be elected to the parliament. So they point to this fact and question as to how we can still call it a casteist regime, a casteist political system. So there are about 3 points which we can discuss today to prove that that political system is in fact casteist. The first thing we need to realize is who is electing these representatives and sending them to the parliament. Ideally, if the community was selecting its own representatives and that's all, and that's the only electorate, then we can understand that the representatives who have been selected and sent to the parliament are actually true representatives and leaders of these communities. However, through Pune Pact, Gandhi made sure that that was not the case. Untouchables did not get a separate electorate. They were put into the general electorate. So even if the seat itself is reserved for, let's say, an untouchable, the whole population actually votes for the elected member. So in case where there are multiple community members, let's say untouchable community members, who want to contest and get elected, because the general population has a say in it, the general population, being caste bound, casteist in nature, will pick among these contestants the most favorable one. So that's the first point, that it's not a separate electorate. The second point, which is much more current for Indian politics, is that there are about 5 national parties. Indian National Congress, the oldest among all political parties, Bharatiya Janata Party, current ruling party, BJP, also known as BJP, I mean, Communist Party of India, CPI, Communist Party of India, Marxist, and finally Tirumanamool Congress. There are others, but these are the 5 main national parties. All of these parties have Brahmin leaders. They're founded and run by Brahmins. So when these parties actually pick a candidate to contest, so even in these reserved communities, they get to pick who runs for the elections on their party ticket. And Indian politics lends itself very closely to party alignment. So pretty much somebody who has a party ticket will win from that area. An individual running on an independent ticket doesn't. So when these 5 parties have such a hold on Indian politics, again, similar to how general electorate makes sure that a person favorable to the general community, Hindu casteist community, is elected, the 5 national parties also do the same thing. They elect or they give party ticket to representatives who they know will be a puppet in their hands and do their bidding. So that's the second way political system doesn't allow for oppressed caste to send a true leader to parliament. The third thing, which is much more subtle, is who they put on their party ticket. When it comes to Brahmins, upper caste representatives, these parties give a ticket to the most learned, most wealthiest, or somebody who has some level of intellect. When they give a ticket to these oppressed castes, they usually pick the worst among them with no education, probably even a low-lying criminal or somebody with a criminal background. What this does is, this person then gets elected and gets to the parliament. And now cabinets are formed. Let's say a health ministry cabinet needs to be formed. And ideally then they'll put out it's natural to expect that this health ministry would have educated people, perhaps with a scientific acumen, doctors or health officers or whatnot. Surprise, surprise, none of the candidates that have come from the oppressed communities on these party tickets have such credentials. So suddenly, even though we have representation in the parliament, the actual cabinets, where funds are declared and distributed, and also decisions are made, bills are produced and then put on the floor to be made into law, or again completely upper caste oriented. So those are the three ways how the political system in India continues to oppress the non-Savarnas. Hope this were helped.